I'm good. I'm fine. Those are two of the most common responses that a man will give when asked, how is he doing? And this is even when his world is crumbling on the inside. Check out this comment here that was made by a man that clearly represents this. I was at a hospital visiting a family member after a miscarriage. I saw a young man being taken into a room that was covered up and called the butterfly room. Around 2 a.m., as I was leaving the hospital, he was walking ahead of me. I got into my vehicle, but I looked his way. He was pacing and grabbed his hair. I asked him if he was okay. He said, "Yeah, man, I'm good." I parked the car and walked up to him and asked him again if he was good. He broke down and I just hugged him and he started sobbing. He had just lost his baby to miscarriage. We didn't say anything until he let all that hurt out. He asked me, why did I do that? I told him because I have a son and one day I'd hope for somebody to do the same for him if he's ever going through a tough time without me. We exchange numbers and still keep in touch. Men, we need to support each other. This is a very interesting comment, and I want to repeat this line. I asked him if he was okay, and he said, "Yeah, man, I'm good." That response was almost automatic. And as men, we have learned to master that. That even if things are falling apart, we simply say, "I'm good. I'm fine." I want you to think about your personal experiences. When was the last time someone asked you if you were good? What was your automatic response? It would be very interesting if your response was either "I'm good" or "I'm fine" when things were not on the bright side. There are multiple reasons why you may have said that you were good, but I want to touch on two of the main reasons that could have been why you said you were good. And that is because you don't want someone to feel sorry for you. You don't want to think about someone having that sense of pity for you. Because someone having pity for you points to you being in a helpless state. And if you are helpless, then it must mean that you are weak. And you don't want to be seen as weak. You don't want anyone looking at you and thinking that you're a weak man. Because strength is what is equated to manhood. So, on the other hand, then weakness means that you are less than a man. And this is not arrogance. This is simply you protecting your masculinity, protecting your manhood. This is how you are conditioned by society. Because if you are seen to be in a weak state, then it takes away from your manhood. But it goes even further than that. It could mean that you don't want to be a burden on others. This is one of the main reasons why a man would not ask for help. So you would rather suck it up and go through that grind by yourself. Because as you see it, everyone has their burdens. Everyone has their struggles. So then, why should I now bring my burden to add to your burden? I'm a man. I should be carrying my backpack. I should be carrying my own cross and not adding weight to what you are already carrying. So if you look at this young man here, his partner already has her burdens, her physical and emotional burdens that she's enduring. So he can't now bring his emotional burden and place it on her shoulders because he sees himself as her protector. And maybe likewise with you. You don't want to bring your burdens to your wife or to your children because all these years you have been that rock. You have been the one who others bring their burdens to. So now, if you are taking your burden and carrying it to others, then it's a reversal of the roles. The one who was the pillar, the strength, the rock, is now asking for help. How could that be? And that is quite understandable. But I will say this, that is not a reflection of weakness or you being unable to hold your ground as a man. What that points to, you are a responsible individual. You are a responsible man. And you have always stood your ground. You have always stood the test of time. So now it becomes difficult for you to now hand over or share some of that weight with others. But I can tell you this, if you continue to take that approach of carrying these burdens and never resting it down, it can have detrimental effects upon you, where you may develop diseases as a result of the stress of keeping all of that pressure and that stress and that hurt locked in. This could turn into heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, and a host of other physical diseases. But it can also cause mental issues, depression, anxiety, and a whole host of other mental illnesses. But I also know that you may have a fear of breaking down if you were to share what you are going through. As this young man here, when he interacted with this writer, he broke down. That may be your fear. You don't want to break down in front of others. And I understand that. So I'm not going to tell you to simply open up to the very next person who asks you if you are good. But what I would suggest is taking the approach of saying, I'm not good just yet, but I'm working on it. Because what this does, it may prevent you from breaking down at an inappropriate time, but it also helps you to be true to yourself. Because if you continue to say that you are good when you are not good, you are lying to yourself and you are breaking that trust. And when you continue to break that trust and you lose that trust between you and yourself, it can and will further affect you. You'll begin to realize that you keep moving further and further away from your inner self because you keep hiding from yourself. You keep lying to yourself. And that destroys you slowly, but definitely over time. So I certainly understand that you don't want others to look at you with pity. You don't want to feel as if you are giving off your burden to others. But it is important to build that trust with yourself, to cultivate that trust, because it is going to serve you in the long run. So the next time someone asks if you are good, but you know that you are not, simply say, I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it. And then work on finding someone who you can share what you are dealing with. Because when you do, it helps to release some of that stress and pressure of that burden that you have been carrying. If you find this content valuable, save this for a next time. But also, don't keep it a secret. Share this with one other man who you know can certainly benefit from this information. And I will see you in the next one. Peace, brother.